Hmm. Woo. Are we going? We're going. Okay. Hello. I'm stoked because this week I solved a problem for myself, and it was that I was doing these weekly updates on Substack every week, and they're going to people's emails, but they weren't exactly posts. So they just live in the inbox, and then you can never see them another time. And I'm doing all these photo dumps and sharing a lot of stuff, and I just want it to be there to be like a record of it, basically. So I was talking to ChatGPT. The new voice assistant on Mac is crazy because you can just talk to it and it's like a ChatGPT, but it's just like a person. If you say be conversational mode, it just sounds like you're talking to a person. Anyway, so I was asking him and he said, yeah, you can make new sections on your Substack. So I was like, damn, let's freaking go. So I did that and now I'm introducing to you Wonderneath Weekly. So here, I'll share this real quick. Check it out. Now there's this section right here, Wonderneath Weekly, which this will be my first post on there. But now they're gonna live. All these posts will live here. So, and if you're subscribed to me, you'll be automatically subscribed to this feed. And I'm still gonna do my normal Wonderneath thing, but these weekly ones are gonna just live somewhere. So you can go back, you can share them easier, and whatever. It's just better. It's more what I want. So I'm really stoked that I figured that out, and that's cool. So I'm gonna do that from here on out. That's a banger. Um, if you want to manage your subscription, you can go to your settings and you can unsubscribe to one of them. So if you just want the updates or if you just want the main posts or whatever, you can do that if you want. But I got some bangers in the queue for the main post. So, okay. Getting into a couple updates here. I had my second dinner, time left dinner. This time I can say I was much less scared. I wasn't freaking out as much. I kind of knew more of what to expect, so wasn't as worried. The thing is, I was 40 minutes late because the traffic was so bad, like the route that they took or whatever. Last time I left at the same time, the restaurants were in similar areas, but this time I was 40 minutes late, so that was embarrassing and I felt kind of bad. And even worse on top of that. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a bunch of different cultures. So there's like an Indian person, someone from the Philippines, two Russians, and a Thai slash American guy, I guess, or maybe he was just Thai. But so I was like, okay, I wonder if they're gonna wait for me to eat because I know in some cultures they wait for you to eat. Here I'll switch this back. They wait for you to eat, and so I was like, I don't know, but whatever. So, anyways, I call ahead and I order my food and say, hey, I'm at this time left dinner, but I'm super late. Can I just order my food now so it's ready when I get there? So they said, yeah. So, anyways, I pull up and they were eating like appetizers and stuff. But I thought, like, the way everything was set out, I thought they were just eating. And sometimes people don't eat that much at it. So I didn't think, I thought, okay, good, they're eating, whatever, I'll get my food. Well, the Thai dude, and I think the Russian guy, one of the Russian guys, waited for me. So I didn't realize because they had a plate and they were eating some of the appetizers, but they didn't get their main course till I was there. But I didn't know. And so they bring out my food because I ordered and I just start mowing because I'm like, oh, everyone's already eating. Well, then their food comes out later after that. And I didn't even wait for them. And I was like, God, I look like an idiot. I look like a freaking dick. And I was like, damn it. So it is what it is, though, understandable mistake. And the group was fun. We had a good time. And it wasn't as bad. So I got another one on Wednesday this week, and we're just going to keep going for it. Here's the thing that has got me worried or thinking is that the first time I did it, after the dinner, it just shows me all the people that were at the dinner and it says, do you want to open a connection or no? So you can click yes or no, and then it'll basically give you the option to chat with them on the app. So the first dinner, only the three dudes clicked yes and opened a chat, and then the two girls either you can skip it, but maybe they said no. I don't know if they skipped it or they said no, but I was kind of self-conscious. I was like, I thought I was nice and like I wasn't a dick or like, especially the first one. And I'm like, maybe they clicked no and I was weird. And so I was like in my head about it. But this time I go and it has me, when I'm done, it has me rate each person after. So it shows me the person, it says, and it's a smiley face scale. So from like frowny face to smiley face and everything in between. Well, if you go middle face, it won't open a connection, but it says won't open connection, but you might see them at dinner again. And then if it's the two smiley faces, it says you will probably see them at dinner and it'll open a connection. And the two frowny faces is you won't open a connection and you won't see them at dinner again. Anyways, so I give everyone a 5 or a 4 and whatever, but only one of the people opened a connection with me. So that means everyone else at the dinner either rated me a freaking middle or lower, or just skipped it and didn't do it. So I was like, damn. So now I'm in my head about it. And I'm like, do I freaking suck, dude? Like, am I shitty and lame and like people don't want to do the connection or what? I don't know. I felt bad because I feel like the dinner was good. We were laughing and joking and I'm asking questions and being kind. And like, I don't feel like I'm killing it, but I'm being nice. And like the conversation seemed good. Like to me, I'm like, I would expect to get the connections and for them to rate me good, but at least a 4, but I guess not. Fuck, or I don't know. I'm trying not to overthink it too much because at the same time, some people, I don't necessarily expect people to like me. I'm kind of weird. I was late, so that's kind of rude maybe. And so I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so that's that. I got another one. I'm just gonna keep going. Just go through it, be as nice as I can, try to have a good time. And this one was better than the last one, so I'm gonna leave super fucking early this time. I might take one on the back of the bike because they can go through traffic. So maybe try that. Okay, I scheduled this week a sensory deprivation tank. I was listening to a pod and the guy got asked, when did things start turning around for you? And he was talking about getting into meditation and starting to do the sensory deprivation tanks. And I was like, okay, I always wanted to do one. It's not that expensive here compared to other places. So I was like, fuck it. So I booked one. So I got that. I'm going to vlog it. So there'll be video of that, but that's interesting. I matched with a chick, other news. I matched with a chick on Hinge from China who's visiting Bangkok. And I scheduled a coffee with her, like on my booking link. I like sent her my booking link and I was like, pick a time. But whatever. But anyway, her plans kind of switched up. So she ended up just coming through the condo today. So I just kicked it with her for a little bit and she was really cool. I enjoyed being around her. And we're still going to get coffee, but it's one of those things where the vibe was good, but it's like, she's just going to go back to China and like work and live. She lives there and she's going to work there. So I'm like, I don't really know, whatever, but she works in AI. So very interesting conversation with her. So that's at least cool. But as far as like, I don't know where that's going to go necessarily. But anyways, getting out of my shell, going on a date and meeting new people. So we're good. It's pretty cool. Also, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so I've been looking to hire a Thai band to play with me for like a live studio session of my song Sheets that I wrote last time I was here. And so I've been arranging like a stripped kind of acoustic-ish version and searching for bands. And I hired my friend Gig here to help me find a band and like a studio and like help me navigate it. So she's been doing that. And so we have some studios we're looking at. We're talking to a couple bands, but there's one that we're kind of zeroing in on, and because they shred pretty hard and they're sick. So I'm just so excited. I've been vibing and playing the arrangement and like, I just think it's going to be really cool and fun. So it's going to be like video recording in a studio with this Thai band and playing my song. And I'm just stoked and I'm really looking forward to it because I've never done anything like that. And I love playing live music and I love doing it. I've never done it where I'm singing and playing like I'm going to play the ukulele. So it's a totally new horizon and I'm just freaking stoked. And I really think it's going to be fun and I'm excited. But the band we're looking at, the main one we're looking at, only one of them speaks English. So I'll have to bring Gig to like help me translate and like do it. But I think it'll be fun. I'm going to vlog that as well. So it'll be interesting. And I just think it's going to be fun. We can watch this thing of Sheets real quick. This is from last time I was in Bangkok when I was writing it. I vlogged it. So here, I'll switch over here and we can watch the vibe. Okay, shit. Oh, shit. Hold on, I gotta turn this way down. Here we go. Sorry. Here we go. So this is the song. This is the demo when I wrote it like months ago, but sick. Brush my teeth. I wash my sheets. Hey. Walk your way out here. You can tell I'm like working out the lyrics right now. Go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Oh yeah, I love it. It's such a freaking vibe, dude. I'm stoked. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna do that. I'm very excited. But that's it for my main updates. Let's go. Actually, I'm gonna switch back here. Okay. This week I tried something new, which I also think is really gonna work for me, which is doing these live perplexity searches. So I was wondering so much about what was the biggest building on Earth and everything. And so I was going down these big perplexity searches and I discovered the walls of Benin, which was like a contestant for some of the biggest walls and longest walls with the Great Wall of China. And I was like, I've never heard of that. So I went down this giant rabbit hole looking at the history of Benin and the walls and everything. And it was such an interesting journey. Like you can watch the live stream if you want, but it's like, it turns out the internet and people like the Benin walls, it was a massive earthwork where it was very vast, but it was basically these people just digging a giant ditch and piling up the dirt into a wall. And it's not like the Great Wall of China where it's crazy construction, right? And it was just a lot more primitive than like the internet makes it seem. Like all the pictures of it online and stuff like that isn't actually it. They're like weird illustrations and just like if you look at this, like when you search walls of Benin, if you look at this on the thumbnail, that's what you see, but that isn't how it was at all. And so it's really interesting, but the history was interesting. I think it's a little controversial, honestly, and I deep dive into the New Century Global Center in Chengdu, China, which is the biggest building on the entire planet as far as floor space goes. It's amazing. I've never heard of it. It makes me want to go to China. And just a bunch of other interesting stuff. But I just kind of go with my whims as I'm wondering shit and searching on Perplexity, and I just do it live. So do it live. So that's this video, and you can check it out. And then I also went live with my friend Gig, who's my Thai friend, and we talked about Buddhism, and we did some more Perplexity searches, and we looked because I was wondering what was the highest place you can live, like the highest apartment or like inhabitable place. Turns out, well, the tallest apartment building is a building in New York. It's a high-rise in New York apartment, but the highest place you can live from sea level is this place called the Pukdal Monastery in India. It's like a Buddhist monastery, and it's just way up in the mountains in these caves. It's really amazing. So we were watching YouTube on that, and then we started talking all about Buddhism and stuff like that. So me hanging out with her and just having a chat. That's what that is. Okay, Perplexity searches from this week. What is minimum wage in Thailand per hour? Let's see what it is. Okay, 8-hour workday is basically 50 baht. Wait. Oh no, sorry, 400 baht per day, so about 50 baht per hour, which is like $1.20 US. So that's kind of crazy for minimum wage. 400 Thai baht per day. So how much USD is 400 baht? I think it's oh fuck, I didn't press USD, sorry. Put use. How much use is 400 baht? I think it's about $10. Wait, so that's $10 a day? And I spelled bot backwards, so I'm freaking dyslexic, sorry. 11.20. So $11.20 a day is Thai minimum wage, which is kind of crazy. But things are very cheap, so it's not like oh, what would that be in America in terms of buying power? So let's see, like if you, I don't want all these details. This isn't telling me what I want. What would it be equivalent to? It's not how you spell that. I can't spell, dude. It's so hard. In the States, 1120 would be like in Thailand would be like how much in the US in terms of buying power? See if I can't word this, and I'm going on the fly live, and so I'm dumb. In Thailand, this would feel like having $20 to $30. So it'd be like making $30 a day, which is crazy. Or, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, so that's not optimal, but I'd imagine people make over that. Is it looking bad for the stock market? Next search. Yes, it sure is. I'll tell you that. We're down 8% because of the stock market is down because of recession fears, weakening labor market signals, rising layoffs, and fueling concerns. Inflation is 3%. Geopolitical tensions, ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, and new tariffs from Mexico, Canada, and China cause uncertainty. Government spending too much. Consumer debt, escalating debt in areas such as credit cards, automobile loans, and mortgages is putting pressure on consumer spending. Tech sector decline. Leading semiconductor stocks are experiencing downturn after years of substantial growth. Yeah, so we're going downhill, it looks like, but I'm hoping we come back around. What is the tallest apartment on the planet from sea level? That's what we got. We already talked about that. What is a hierarchical open relationship? This is when basically you're in an open relationship, but your main partner, like it's usually if you're married or something, so like your main partner is your priority, and then that's clear to your other partners that you may have that, hey, you're just like a side hoe, and like I'm married, so this is my main investment emotionally and monetarily or whatever, and then you can each have like little side pieces. So that's what that is. Okay, so this is how many Chinese people moved to the US in 2023. Okay, so this really stemmed from me looking, like I'm looking at this thing in China, this building, and I'm looking at some of the infrastructure and things in China, and I'm going, is China like really dope? And people just think it sucks because of propaganda, and like how bad is it really? And like, just really questioning the narrative basically. So I'm thinking, okay, I want to know like how many, because I know Chinese people will come and sneak in the border to America, right? And I'm like, how many people are moving legally from China to America and sneaking in the border? And then how many Americans are moving to China and trying to sneak into China? So basically what I found is that they don't have a lot of numbers for recently, but like it was basically 2023, you have 37,000 Chinese nationals apprehended for an illegal border crossing in 2023. So that's 37,000 people got caught that were Chinese trying to cross the border in 2023. And then you have about 50,000 people immigrating legally. And then you have a bunch of people that are enrolling in schools and stuff like that. But I'm thinking moving here, So, what do you got? About 80, 90,000, maybe 100,000 if you count the people that didn't get caught. I don't know how many people aren't getting caught, but people are sneaking into America from China. So they're in China. They're thinking, I want to go to America, sneaking in. And then apparently the reverse is about 70,000 US citizens living in China total that are like Chinese living in China now, like permanent basically. And then I couldn't find any records of people trying to sneak in, like Americans trying to sneak in and get caught. I think partially that's because China's border security is pretty good. So if there were, I also think just America's dope and people want to come to America, and it really is dope. And I think a lot of, while things are cool in China and there's people that have good lives there, I think there's a lot of people who don't have that good of lives that would be a lot better off in America, and they're trying to come here. So that is kind of my analysis after like researching it for a while and going deep on this perplexity search. But who knows? Yeah, not really sure, but interesting thought there. And I do want to go to China though. I really want to go to that big ass. I can never remember the name. New Century World Center. New Century Global Center. Freaking crazy. If you watch this live, I watch all about it. It's really wild. Okay, so those are my perplexities for the week. Okay, I just finished reading The Practice by Seth Godin, so I'm going to do a book review soon. It was pretty good overall, but I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of cool notes, so you can look forward to that probably next week. Excuse me. I've been listening to this Winners Never Quit Owl City song while I run. It's a banger. It's really good for running, really gets you pumped. Okay, now into the photo dump. Let's go. We got some banger clouds here. Let's go. Ugh. Sorry, I'm burping. Anyways, good clouds, good view. Very happy. I went to the Cultural Arts Center, I believe, and the main exhibits were closed, but there was a bunch of art here, and it was interesting. Wasn't the coolest thing ever. There was really cool photography down here, but man, the buildings, this building like up past this escalator is amazing. The architecture is so cool here. Here's a sunrise that I was chilling and watching, and it looked nice. Okay, these are a bunch of screen caps from my music video, which I'm done editing. I'm just literally waiting for the song to be mixed and mastered so I can get everything put together. But I got a big blog post that's really nice about the song and the video. And then these are kind of my favorite screen caps that I put throughout the blog post. So I wanted to sneak peek that. And then I'm going to do a full walkthrough on YouTube of like all the scenes and how I did it and go into my After Effects and show like everything. So I'm stoked for that too, because I've never done that. And I think it'll be really fun to like do a breakdown and just have that on the internet. I went to eat with Gig, and there was a guy playing music, and he came over to our table and he was singing to us. It was very nice. I got pasta. I should have got the pizza though. I was debating between the pizza and the pasta, and I should have got the freaking pizza. This is me and Gig. She wanted to do a photo booth, so we did it. Cross-eyed. Got him. My glasses are so dope, dude. I look like a gangster. Okay, this is the financial center next to the condo, and they're out getting a pep talk. If you can look right here, I don't know what they're doing, but that's that. This was at the art center. This was so cool. This guy had all these pieces of like wood and organic stuff that he would like put skulls and like pipes, and like it was this really cool mix of like organic material and like pipes and tubes and stuff, and it just caught my eye. I thought it was cool. And then lastly, I have this text which I got from a friend that I hadn't talked to in a long time. We were just catching up a bit, and she was saying, I always remember that conversation. She was talking about a conversation we had the first time we hung out, as a turning point in my life, and finally coming to realize where I stand religiously. You were the first person to actually ask me why I believed what I did, and it made me realize it was only ever based off other people's opinions, and that I'm more spiritual than religious. And then I replied and said, are you telling me that I destroyed your faith? And she's like, not that, you just made me realize I didn't actually have any faith. And I was like, interesting. But I was conflicted about it because I feel kind of bad. And I've had multiple experiences like that where, especially when I was younger, where I would just talk to someone about religion and like basically pose to them the questions that make me skeptical and make it hard for me to believe. And it would rock their shit, and they'd be like, fuck, like I never thought of that. Like, oh no. And then, I always was conflicted about doing that to people. I don't know how to think about it. I think maybe some people are better off that way. Some people aren't. But it's just one of those things that's interesting, gets me thinking, not really sure about it. Another thing I'll mention that isn't in this update is I said hi to another guy at the condo randomly. I was working up at the top, and an older dude came, and his name was Bill. And I said, hey dude, where are you from? And he's like, Australia, and started talking to him. And then he, we were talking about our places because he lives in this building, and he's like, how much you paying? Da da da. And I told him, and he's like, no way. And I was like, yeah, and I don't have, a lot of the other utilities, and he was paying way more than me for the same room because he basically got gypped by an agent when he got the place. But he's been here for like 3 years. But anyways, he asked me when I was leaving, and when I'm leaving is right when his lease is up. So he's like, would you mind giving me the number of the host so that I could see if maybe I can take over your spot? So I did, and he made a deal with the host, and he's literally taking over my spot. So him and his wife are going to move in here. And they're stoked because they get it cheaper, and it just really worked out well. So I was happy about that. And it's just funny how a little quick conversation can do something like that, because I don't know what they would have done. But man, it's weird in life how things that can change your life. Like, you could think about it where because I said hi to him, he moved in here instead of maybe moving somewhere else. And like, his life would have been way different if he moved somewhere else, because he maybe would have met someone else or felt a different way or wanted to move, or who knows what would have happened. But it's a little pivot in your life that can have massive ripple effects, and it just can get caused by I could have just never said hi to him, right? And that would have never happened. But it's weird, those little things that can you never know what's passing you by. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. I was doing a little research for my target audience, trying to define them and think about like who is my art for, and who is what I do, who is it for, who will it serve the best, and who do I want to reach, and those questions. And I was trying to find, it's about inspiring people to dream, etc. And so I'm like, okay, what people are like on the verge of doing their dream or not, or like who just need a little push over the edge to like go for it. And I was doing some research about cool success stories that were unorthodox, that the person who was successful wouldn't have expected how they found success, right? And I was researching a couple, but I was learning a bit about the story of J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter and stuff. And apparently she was like a single mom on welfare, had her stories, and they originally were kids' books. Like, I think the Sorcerer's Stone was like more of a kid's book. And she was getting rejected by everyone. She got rejected by like, I think it was 12, maybe it was 8 publishers just saying, no, pass. And she could have easily been like, okay, fuck it, it's not going to work. Like, obviously, no one wants this. I'll try to write something else or try to do something else. But one of the publishers, one of the last ones she tried, he gave it to his daughter to read. And then his daughter was like demanding the next book and like, where's the next book? I want to know more. I want to read more. So the publisher like, okay, fine. So he gave her a deal, and she went, and then, now it's Harry Potter. Like, holy shit. So it just goes to show you, the point is that when you're thinking about your dream or an endeavor, there's a million reasons why it wouldn't work. If you're looking for an excuse why it wouldn't work, or why it wouldn't be successful, or why you couldn't do it, there's going to be always a million reasons. And the nature of it is that the reason that you would succeed is nothing you'd ever think of, right? It's going to be you trying and you getting in there and rooting around. And then like the way you succeed is like a lot of times a random conversation or a random thing that happens that you would never use that as a reason to start. Like, I guarantee you J.K. Rowling wasn't like, well, if I can just get a publisher's daughter to read my book, and then then if she demands more from the publisher, he'll want to sign me. Like, I guarantee you she didn't think of that, right? But that was how she got successful and made one of the biggest book franchises ever. So it's like, I don't know. I think I'm going to try to incorporate one of those stories into an ad or something for my blog or for my stuff. Anyways, that's maybe for another video. But I'm going to do a blog post about my target audience and who I'm trying to reach and how I'm thinking about it. Because that was kind of the spirit of how I started my blog in the first place, was like thinking through the shit I got to figure out. And I just, from reading that Seth Godin book, I was like, okay, I want to really define my target audience very specifically. And if I reach other people, great. But I want to just if someone asks me, I want to be like this kind of person that's in this place and doing this and is this old or whatever, or whatever psychological state or whatever it is. I'm not sure yet. I'm still working on it, but I'll get back to you. Okay. I think that's everything for today. Thanks for watching. If you're subscribed, thank you very much. If you're new here, my name is Danny Swade. And I want to tell you about the 4 things I do real quick before I go, which is my blog, which is what I'm doing right now, this update. And I also do longer posts. And then I do music, and I got a sick music video coming. I got some banger songs in the tank. I'm freaking stoked. So I do music. I do YouTube, which you're watching on here, which this is kind of a tying my blog and my YouTube together. And then I have a store, DannySuede.com, where I got necklaces and merch and hats and earrings and hoodies and all kinds of shit. So that's what I do. Nice to see you. Like and subscribe. And the blog is free. So if you there's a link in the description. You just put in your email. You get my updates and my posts in your inbox. That's all it is. Free 99. So anyways, that's it. We'll see you next week. Bye.